What is up, guys? Here with the UTV Source 2019 Yamaha YXZ1000R SS. Let's get right into this review. Taylor here with UTV Source, and I am really excited to bring you our review of the UTV Source 2019 Yamaha YXZ1000R SS SE. This is the absolute perfect bike for me. Bike, car, unit, whatever you want to call it. I come from a background of racing ATVs in both motocross and cross country, as well as owning a lot of fast cars and fast bikes. So I wanted something that complemented that lifestyle that I'm used to. I'm not really a CVT automatic guy. As you can see, when I go ride, I go out to rip. And I'm not a cooler in the back, beers in there, mudding, riding trails. It's not really me. I like to go fast, and I like to kind of push the limits. So we've got our little short course back here. We're in the process of actually making a 2-mile cross-country track. I just underestimated the width of this thing a little bit with the Bobcat, so I need to come back out and clear some trails. But this unit has far surpassed my expectations. The Sport Shift is a blast to drive. I owned a Nissan GTR a few years ago, and the paddle shifters feel really similar to that. Instant upshift, instant downshift, and the braking on this thing is absolutely phenomenal. You'll put your face in the steering wheel really quick. You're gonna see me kind of flying around a lot here, and one of the quirks about the machine that I do not like is the fact that Yamaha put crappy seats and automotive style seat belt in here. I think that the seat belt in this is not safe, and I'm definitely not gonna push this thing to the absolute limit without getting a set of PRP seats and harnesses. I don't know why the seatbelt's in here, and it constantly cuts your neck too. But that's really about the only complaint I have about this machine. So let's get to the things I do like. On paper, 115 horsepower sounds incredibly underpowered in today's side-by-side world, and was something that almost kept me from buying this unit. I was heavily considering the Polaris Turbo S, which I believe right now is probably one of the better do-it-all, does everything really well unit. I'm just not a huge fan of CVTs and automatics, and I feel like Polaris has had some issues lately with quality control. Specifically on that unit, there's the roll cage failures, and people got pretty severely injured from that. So I went with what I knew, which was Yamaha. And I've had a YXZ450, an R6, 2 R1s, a WR450, never had an issue from any of them, and all of those were ridden really hard. So that brings us here, and I feel like I made the right choice. I've had an absolute blast on this unit. We took it the weekend I got it down to the Red River motorcycle trails in Boulter, Texas. My dad and I grew up riding there, and so I picked him up, and we went and got the unit in Shawnee, Oklahoma, from the local dealership there. A buddy of mine, Sean Hess of Hess Motorsports, told me about the deal, got it hooked up for me, went up there, picked up the unit. I'm going to leave everybody's links there for Sean at Hess Motorsports and the dealership that I picked up this YXZ at if you're looking to do the same type of deal I am. A couple of words on the track we've got here. I'm really excited to how this is going to progress. Right now, I'm just getting it broken in. Everything's flat, so it's a little sketchy to take turns really quick, as it does tend to drift out of control, even in four-wheel drive, just because there's no berms built yet. But we got the little jump here. I do need to modify that jump quite a bit. It needs to be a lot longer, as you'll see the unit's nose diving, which means that your face of the jump is a little short. So I'm going to extend the face of the jump, and I'm probably actually going to make it a little taller so we can get a little bit more air. But this is going to be kind of our little short course section. We're going to build some nice berms here, and we're probably actually going to build a whoop section after we get through with this corner here. This corner here is going to have to be bermed. The camera doesn't do it justice. It's pretty off camber. The unit never felt tippy, but it does slide a lot there, and I don't want to slide into a berm and get a rollover. So we're going to do a couple of whoops back there, and then hopefully debut the rest of the track in the next coming weeks. Like I said, we've got about 2 miles total across the 60 acres here. Lots of woods. We've got some straightaways where we can hit 70, 80 miles an hour. We've got some really, really, really cool spots. So the suspension on the unit, I want to talk about that as well. It's got the Fox shocks on it, and they do a really, really good job of soaking up the bumps, jumps, and pretty much anything you throw at it. I took my wife for a cruise last night, and we kind of just played around and putted around the property in second gear. And it cruises just fine. It soaks up the bumps well, and then as you can see here, we're going up this bumpy gas pipeline at almost 60 miles an hour, and it does a really good job there. It does feel a little sketchy in the air simply because of the seatbelt. I actually come out of the seat when I jump, and that's not a feeling that's fun when you're airborne in this thing. So if you do pick up one of these units, grab yourself a set of PRP seats and harnesses for safety reasons, and honestly for performance reasons. It's going to keep you tucked into the machine. You're going to feel more confident. You're going to be able to make better maneuvers. Wanted to do a top speed run here and see what this thing is capable of doing. My guess was it's going to be around 90 miles an hour. Fifth gear is incredibly long. I have yet to use fifth gear except for on this fire road. Second gear is kind of the utility gear. It's got a lot of power. It's really long. I find myself in second gear about 90% of the time. Second and third gear, I can pretty much do the entire track. So fourth and fifth are going to be kind of your dune and fire road gears. I'll be interested to see how many times I get into fourth, other than that pipeline on the full short course. So anyway, we're going to turn around here and bust out this quick little top speed run, and get going, looking behind me to make sure there's no other cars on the road or anything like that. All the driving today was done in four-wheel drive. Two-wheel drive is pretty much hoon mode. You just slide everywhere. It's a lot of fun for drifting. So I'll just let the machine scream here. And as you're going to see, we hit a governor at 80. We've still got about 1,500 RPM left. So I think the 90 mile an hour guess is going to be pretty accurate. I think with a tune to remove that, to boost the rev limiter up a little higher, completely remove that governor, full exhaust and an airbox mod, I imagine you're doing over 95 in this thing, which is, I mean, is fast. I don't know where you would ever use that, but it's awesome to have that ability. Had to slow down here, guys. We're mowing by the water tower. But I wanted to see how the vehicle handled at high speed on a crushed gravel road in four-wheel drive, and it did very, very well. Never got, real sideways or anything like that, and the steering felt really, really precise. I did this the other day in two-wheel drive, and it's really fun, but it's not really safe or fast. You're sliding really, really heavily around these turns, and I don't want to end up in that ditch on the lid 2 days after owning this thing. So just kind of testing out the high-speed four-wheel drive system, and honestly, this vehicle does really well in four-wheel drive. It's got really, really, really predictable steering. But yeah, the last thing we're going to do is just launch her from a dig here. I've got a little couple 100-yard driveway, and just gonna send it. And that right there is an absolute blast. I cannot stress enough how much fun it is to ride this thing, and God, you just have a good time every time, from key on to key off.
Alright guys, that brings us to the end of the first video here. If you liked everything, be sure and like and subscribe. Follow us on social media at UTVSource. And for the best deals on parts and accessories, check out our site at utvsource.com. We'll see you on the next one.